St. John's wort has the ability to raise blood pressure, because there's a lot of warnings like, oh, you shouldn't use this if your blood pressure is high. And if it's going to raise blood pressure, yeah, that makes sense. So that may help us understand why St. John's wort could be beneficial for some folks if their blood pressure is too low, and it's going to help them raise that blood pressure. But if someone's having depression for other reasons and their blood pressure is not too low, that's not going to do a whole lot for them. Now, zinc, people feel like this is really important over here, that's an important factor when it comes to serotonin, dopamine, and all these neurotransmitter functions. But another crucial thing with zinc is that it's not only a mineral that could help lift the minerals in the system, but also zinc is needed to make stomach acid. So if someone can't break down their food because of a hypochlorhydria issue where their body is not making enough stomach acid, it might not be making enough stomach acid because of a lack of zinc. Zinc is needed for the body to make hydrochloric acid so we can properly acidify our food and get all the nutrients out of that food. So if a person is just missing zinc and they start supplementing with some zinc, then it can really boost the ability to get more minerals out of your food and correct a lot of these other possible problems when it comes to depression. And B12 is also a very common problem that people see with depression, and they find these low B12 issues. And well, you kind of see low B12 when somebody's a vegan, or if they don't have the ability to properly break down the meats that they're consuming. If you're consuming animal protein but you don't have the ability to digest it correctly, you're not really getting the nutrients out of that protein and you're not getting the benefits. So you might as well be a vegan if you're not really accessing the nutrients in the food that you're eating. Another thing I like to say about B12 is that there are some cofactors in there that you can get from animal proteins that you can't get from a B12 shot or from a supplement. So a lot of people will do better if they are having the ability to consume animal proteins. If you're a vegan because of religious or spiritual beliefs and all that kind of stuff, I don't want you to change just because of that. You're going to stress yourself out. But if a person is eating a vegan diet because they think that's the healthiest thing, then we'll have a link in the description below for our video on problems that can come from a vegan diet. Now, omega-3s are very popular with depression, and a lot of people want to talk about how the fats are beneficial for the brain, and the brain needs these fats to function and repair and rebuild and all these things. But I sort of view it a little bit differently. Omega-3s are very pro-catabolic. So when we're looking at omega-3s, they have the ability to improve an anabolic imbalance, and especially if someone has insulin that's overly powerful. Because omega-3s are not as beneficial as most people think, because they view them as anti-inflammatory, but they also have the ability to make a person more insulin resistant. So if someone's insulin resistant, like, oh, I got to get rid of some of this inflammation, I'm going to take a whole bunch of omega-3s, they can just be magnifying that insulin resistance problem and creating more inflammation in the long run by needing more and more insulin to process those sugars.